everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariana and you're watching Lucifer's Library. In today's video, I'm giving each book 50 pages for it to convince me that I shouldn't unhaul it. Yesterday, I was going through my physical TBR. I've had a few DNFs, a few unhauls, and there are a few books that I'm not particularly excited to read. So I decided, you know what, since I'm not so sure about them, if they're even my kind of taste, if I even want to have them on my TBR, I'm just gonna try the first 50 pages for a video, and if they convince me, then I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna read them for this video, and if not, they can go. I have no hard feelings. Now, the way I went about it is I picked 2 books from my own TBR shelves and 2 books from my sister's TBR shelves. Those are all the books that she owns that I'm interested in reading. Okay, from my sister's shelves, we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This was a Christmas gift from me to her. I'm not sure about this because Leigh Bardugo's writing isn't always my cup of tea. I enjoyed Shadow and Bone, but I didn't particularly like Six of Crows, and this book is the genre that I'm not really looking forward to. Is this dark academia? I'm not even sure what this is. I just know that from what I heard, this isn't my cup of tea normally. So I'm just gonna give it 50 pages. Then the second book I have from my sister's collection, it's 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. The last time I went to the bookstore was with my friend who's also a reader, and she really wanted to buy this book. And so I'm just gonna give it a try. I think this might be a thriller or a mystery, murder, mystery, crime, no idea. I don't know anything about these books. I just know they're not my cup of tea because I wouldn't normally pick this up. And then the 2 books from my own TBR that I'm not sure about are, first one is Scars Like Wings. Normally this is contemporary and I don't really think this might be my cup of tea, don't get me wrong. This book has been given to me by my sister and it's not one that I would choose for myself. So the main character Ava has been disfigured after a house fire, and now she has to return back to school and try to live her life and figure out her new normal, I guess. Yeah, this feels like a kind of like a life story, something that, you know, would be very touching. And I know this is based on a true story, but again, I don't normally gravitate towards this, but I'll give it 50 pages. And the last book, which is again from my collection, it's Havenfall by Holland. Again, this is so short, but the day I bought it, I saw it in both an unhaul and in a DNF video, and that scarred me. That marked me for life. I have a hesitancy to read this book. Alright, and these are all 4 books that I'm going to be reading for this video. I don't even know where to start, what book to start. I guess I'm gonna do 1 book a day and we'll see where to go from there. If I pick this book up and I DNF it, I'm gonna just move on to the next one, and if I decide to finish this, I'm gonna finish this first before starting the next book. Hi everybody. So okay, I've got a few updates. I read 57 or 56 pages of Scars Like Wings. This I think I read in half an hour or even less. It's so fast. It's such a fast-paced read. However, I don't see myself giving this book more than 3 stars. I'm not one for high school contemporary books anymore unless they have, you know, a bit of romance in them. And while this does have disability and mental health representation, I also am putting this book down and unhauling it because this book does deal with loss of family members and deaths. And so I don't know if you know this, but I mean, I've said it in several videos now, but ever since 2020 when my grandpa died, and last year when I lost like 2 of my pets, I'm just unable to read books that deal with grief and anything with that. It's really hard for me, especially if they're set in our world and not in a fantasy book. I'm not in the right headspace and it's gonna make me spiral. So I think I'm just gonna put this book down. But I don't know, for people who like contemporary high school books, especially like young adults and teens, I would definitely recommend this. But again, it's just not for me, and I think this book would better be suited for someone else. Then I also decided to go ahead while my camera was charging to pick up Havenfall, and I didn't even get to 50 pages. I haven't even marked where I got to, but I got 5 pages in. Now, right off the bat, we have here an intense description of the worlds. There are a few kingdoms, and every kingdom is known for something, and it's just really intense. It makes me not want to read it. But then we also have the prologue, which I did read, and it's a little bit cryptic because you don't know exactly what's going on. Then you have this thing, which is just a declaration of like peace between 3 kingdoms, and then, you know, you fully expect this to be a fantasy book, but it turns out to be urban fantasy set half in our world and then half in this world, and that's just very confusing to me, and I don't feel the appeal, so I'm not gonna read it. And you know what, it's fine, I'm just gonna unhaul this. At the end of the day, this is the point, that I read books and figure out if I even want to have them on my TBR shelf or not, because again, these were the books that I've been iffy about. Now, I did go through both of my selections of my books, and now it's time for me to tackle both Ninth House and 9 Perfect Strangers. I don't know which one I'll tackle first, but when I check in, I could be reading both. I could have made progress, or I may not have made any progress. I don't have high expectations for this because it's not my genre, but this I might actually finish. So these are my predictions. Ninth House, let's talk about it. I'm not gonna finish this book. I find it to be boring. The beginning is rough, and I know that I may seem very harsh, but this book is just not for me. Just the writing style, everything, it's slow, it's boring. And then I also, when I was deciding should I try to push through the beginning, because I heard people say that the beginning is slow but it gets better, and then I saw those trigger warnings and I saw that it has graphic sexual assault scenes, and that is one of my triggers. I can't do that. So yeah, I'm gonna pass on this book. It's fine. Sometimes a book just surprises you, and sometimes you just know something's not for you, which is fine. I'm fine giving it back to my sister, returning it to her collection. But last but not least, I'm gonna read, or try to read, 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. Now this one I think I might finish, but again, we'll see how it goes. I hope that this is the only book, at least one book. Give me one book that I want to finish for this video, because if I don't, I'm gonna be really, really sad. I am going to skip out on this book as well. This video has been a mess. It's been unsuccessful, but if you look at it, I have 4 less books on my TBR, so technically I'm doing quite well. Like, I'm getting rid of the books that I won't enjoy, and this book, what does it for me is, one, it feels very slow, even though the chapters are quite fast. The pacing, something about it, maybe it's because it's told from a multiple point of view, like multiple perspectives, and I don't like that, because sometimes the authors use multiple point of views to cut us off right when it gets interesting and switch to another character, and I really have problems with multiple point of views. If you watch some of my videos, like, you would know that I don't like multiple point of views, and this is told from, I think, 9 point of views, because it's 9 Perfect Strangers, or maybe it's also, I think it's also the staff and everything. I don't know. I wanted to finish this. I wanted to have at least one book to finish, but I guess, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. I've decided not to finish the 4 books that I had for this video, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I have more videos on my channel, and yeah, I will see you next time. I hope you have a lovely day or night wherever you are. I'm gonna go to bed because I'm exhausted.